What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Monday morning to you and welcome to this devotional series. We're walking through the book of Proverbs right now, and since it is July 11th, we're in Proverbs chapter 11. If you want to pause, this is my big encouragement. Go read the whole chapter. You write down your favorite proverb and some of your thoughts and ideas on that, and then that way we all get to powwow together. You can tell me what you wrote down, but I jumped in on verse number 2 here. There is so much stuff. I mean, there's 31 different verses in this alone, so there's so much goodness. I'm literally picking just one, and it says this: when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. And so what you see is this kind of like, you've got pride on one hand, and then the opposite hand you have humility. And I was thinking about this. It says that when pride comes, then comes disgrace. There's a bunch of other scriptures that say, pride comes before the fall, similar ideas. And so pride has a way of really ruining our lives and ruining our future. And so the idea is that, well, the humble that's where the wisdom is. It's with the humble. And so for me to go from pride to humility, there has to be a death to my ego, right? I've got to let some things go. I've got to let some things die and then reach towards some better things. And so here's what I mean. When you think about like death to your own ego and really killing your pride, what you think about is this: with less ego, I end up losing my need to be right about everything. Have you ever noticed like so many of our arguments are about our need to be right? Or here's another one: my need to prove you wrong. That's another one. That's ego. My need to have attention, my need to win everything, whatever, you just lump in your thing. And what you find is that, well, all that stuff makes life harder. It makes your relationships more strained. And really, it makes, I think, your soul a little bit less joyful. So none of this really helps. And then think about the opposite. When your ego's dead and there's not a lot of pride there, and I can just be perfectly humble, again, well, that allows me to be wise, because watch this. When there's no more ego, I can fully love you and not care if you love me back or not. Like, what an amazing place to be, that I'm in a place where I'm so loved and so secure that I can freely love you, and I won't be wounded and injured if you don't return everything in light. I'll be more at peace because now I'm not comparing myself. I don't know if you know this or not, but ego makes you compare. Your ego likes for you to compare to people who are worse off and less than you because it makes you feel better about yourself. But yeah, like I can be a little bit less stressed out, less comparison, have more peace and really more contentment, being more content with what God has given me. Here's another one. It's just going to make me more joyful and more happy. I'm just going to be in like a more peaceful state of mind, which allows me to like freely engage in my present moment, in my relationships. And again, why? Because pride's not getting in the way and making me, again, always need to win or be right or prove you wrong. Or here's another one that I think the death the ego gives. It makes it to where it's way easier for you to forgive and you're less easily offended. So think about it. All of a sudden that stuff where that person said that about you, that person did that about you, when your ego dies, basically what it is you make a less big of a deal. Like, it's just not as big of a deal as it used to be. Forgiveness, again, same thing, the stuff from your past. You can just be like, you know what? In light of everything, I'm just going to let that go, because your ego is the one that needs to get that vindication and that justification and all that stuff. And so what if, again, we just read it one more time. What if we see the world like this way? The more I lean in towards pride, the more I bring some type of sinful headache into my life. It's just going to ruin things and sour everything. But watch this. But with the humble is wisdom. And humility, that death of ego, actually helps me to be very present and be very wise. So let's dive into the book of Proverbs. Let's keep getting our wisdom, and I will see you tomorrow.